Josh, great to connect with you today. Thank you so much for making the time.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on, Oliver.
Yeah, so happy to have you. Listen, we've been working together for some time now, and you've been telling us great things about the Talipay platform. We've been seeing your business grow a ton over the past few months, so I'm so glad we get to connect and hear from you about how that experience has been with Talipay, but also for you to tell us more about your business and about this business growth that you're on. Let me ask you, maybe you can tell us more about Bakken Brothers, about you, and about the business.
Yeah, man. So, Bakken Brothers, who are we? So we're basically a water hauling trucking company out here in the North Dakota oil field. We don't really do a lot of oil and gas hauling, so we mainly just work with the different drilling, production, and frac operations within our area. Me and my brother were originally from South Florida. We came out here because we saw how much opportunity there was, and it was the only business that we saw that you could generate extreme returns with such a minimal buy-in. So that's
That's
why we came
amazing.
out here.
Wow. And you folks have been growing pretty quickly. I see you working with more and more operators, more and more drivers. It seems that the growth has been great. Can you tell us maybe about some of the challenges that you folks have had to work through to get here?
Yeah, man, this is a very difficult business in some aspects. And the reason why it's so difficult is because it's a very tight niche and it's very relationship based. So basically, coming from Florida, we're competing with all the guys that have been here for 20, 30 years. They went hunting with the right guys. They went fishing with the right guys. They gone to high school with the right guys. So basically, in order for us to succeed, we have to push away men that have had 10, 15-year relationships. And the only way you could do that is if you're outstanding in your business and you have such a solid product compared to the competition.
Yeah. I can tell that you folks are really committed to putting forward that really great service. What are some of the things that you're focusing on so that you can win that business and you can win people's trust?
The number one thing that sets us apart from all the other competitors is we're very hands-on over. So one, we're very, very extreme when it comes to vetting the people that we bring onto our team and make sure that they know everything they're supposed to do and have all the equipment they need. On top of that, we're constantly driving around in the field, checking up on operations to show the company and our customers, hey, our drivers are here, but we're not absentee owners that sit at the house. We're also out here watching all of our guys and making sure that the standard is up to the par that we've set.
Whenever we chat, you're on the road, you're checking in on everybody. That's what it takes, I guess, right? Like that's really what it is. If you want to be winning the trust of your customers, you got to be out there and you got to make sure that you're on your A game all the time, taking care of them, right? You hit on it at the beginning about how Talipay's been able to kind of to help you out and make your life easier so you can focus on all of that stuff that really matters. What are some of the challenges that you were facing prior that made you look for a solution like Talipay?
Some of the challenges that I faced, especially when it comes to the scale of our business, is, I didn't have any office people. So therefore I was like a one-man band going from, single owner op to, growing our fleet. And from there, I was in a position where we were dealing with hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of invoices, so many different data entries. And I saw myself every single week and in countless hours behind the computer, typing things in data entry when it's really not worth my time. And in my mind, I thought, there's a lot of companies out here. There's a lot of people that provide services that are extremely affordable within the marketplace that can completely cut out 20, 30, 40 hours a month without me really having to pay this extreme premium. So therefore, I found Talipay, and they were able to do everything for me with such a reasonable rate. It was just a no-brainer to be able to pick up.
Yeah, totally. I love that piece about focusing on the things that you do really well, right? And it seems like obviously being hands-on in other regards and getting in front of your customers, being there to really look after the work and make sure that it's done at the standards and the quality that you folks really strive for. That's the stuff that you're good at. The other thing I wanted to ask was for you to give us a bit of an overview of what a week in the life was before you had Talipay working with you and what a week in the life was after you had Talipay.
Yeah, of course. So, obviously running a business, you have a ton of different responsibilities and you have to wear a ton of different hats in order to keep everything running. So the goal of the game is to remove as many hats as you don't want to wear as possible. So before Talipay, every single week I had to go through hundreds of invoices to make sure and check everything was proper on the field ticket. And then I had to go ahead and scan all these field tickets. And then on top of scanning the field tickets, I had to create all the invoices and then attach it to the individual field tickets. And then from there, I had to track all the accounts payables and accounts receivables, which is like, hey, these are the tickets that are owed to this driver. These are the tickets that are owed to that driver. These are the tickets that are owed to this driver. And then from there, once the invoices are sent and then we get a check for them, now I have to go back and then go on my accounts payables and then create all the remittance statements and then pay out every single subcontractor that we have. So it is a lot of extra steps for no reason at the end of the day, So, I mean, it literally, on top of doing all that, I'm going out, pushing the field, hustling for work, walking into operations, doing sales, checking on drivers, making sure everything's okay. And, it was a lot of extra work for no reason. Now, I have an office lady that works for us about 6 hours a week, and all she does is just scan tickets and send them to the Talipay people on my team. So literally, all I have to do now is make sure that I'm constantly out in the field, checking on operations, and then pushing for more work, which I'm good at, rather than, the back end data entry that, honestly, I hate doing.
Yeah. Fair enough. Hey, and that's what we really want for you. But the other piece of all this is that there's the whole back office piece, but you talked about relationships earlier, about how really being able to deliver on the service and deliver on really high quality work to your customers is really important. But on the other hand, you've got drivers, owner operators, you've got folks that are working with you that you've got to take care of, right? And I know that you've been working to find ways for those folks to get paid sooner, for you to be able to get them paid faster, and for you to get paid faster. Can you maybe tell us about how Talipay has helped you with those relationships with drivers, with those owner operators that are working with you?
Yeah, man, it's I'll get to the quick pay in a bit, but just to touch on what you said about how Talipay has helped me with my relationship with the drivers and the owner operators. What's really nice is, Talipay, not only do I have a platform, all of the guys that work for me, all the owner operators and subcontractors, they also have their own login that doesn't see my side of the account, but allows to see their side of the account, and they're able to see all their receivables, everything they've been paid for, and along with all the aging. In all honesty, it's nice because it saves you a lot of time, because people are constantly asking you questions, and now I'm in a position where I could just tell the subcontractor, log into the Talipay platform, you'll be able to see everything that is going on when it comes to the accounting side of things. So I don't have to go through digging into my computer, looking, all right, this got paid, send them pictures of this, send them pictures of that. And that saves a lot of time, and then increases the trust between us and our subcontractor.
Right.
Now to move on to the quick pay program, I can't speak on every business. I can only speak on my business, but I'm sure a lot of people go through the same situation. So Field is a very drawn out payment system. And so we usually go like 30 to 60, sometimes 90 days out when it comes to payroll. And a lot of the times, these subcontractors, these drivers, they are covering the bill for 30, 60, 90 days. They got maintenance, fuel, they have tens of thousands of dollars every single month that they have to pay out of their pocket before they get paid. A lot of people can't survive when it comes to this long net terms. What's really nice with the early pay system is it allows our guys to get paid as soon as the tickets get approved, rather than having to wait for the ticket to get approved and then 60 days after that. So therefore, they're able to, keep the arteries within their business pumping, which is at the end of the day finances, and they're able to keep their business going. On another note, Talipay is able to track every single early pay advancement. We work with a factoring company that assists us with when it comes to the finances, and this factoring company takes a percentage. But let's say you are someone that has the finances to be able to front all your guys. Well, now you're in a position where you could have the early pay system. You're able to charge all your carriers, all your subcontractors, an extra 1% or 2% or 3%, whatever it is, just to be able to front them that money. And 3% might not sound like a lot, but when you're talking about millions of dollars in revenue going through your account, I mean, it adds up very, very quickly. And Talipay is able to track all those early pay fees, so you're making an extra penny on top of it.
100%. Wow. Yeah. It's so interesting to hear how there's a whole getting time back in your day element to this, where you don't want to be working on the stuff that you're bad at. You want to be working on the stuff that you're great at. And it's all being done in a way where you can look after your drivers as well, right? There's really like two sides of it, between saving time and getting time back in your day, but also not getting stretched out on payment terms and getting the money that you need to run your business, right? Josh, I want to wrap up with one question, and I don't know if you're going to have one answer to this. I'm going to be so impressed if you have one answer to this, but I wanted to ask you what advice you have for business owners that are in your position, that are growing a business like yours. What's maybe one piece of advice that you've kind of gotten along the way that you feel would be worth sharing?
Yeah, Oliver, you're right about that one. If I were to tell you guys all the pieces of advice that you guys should truly know, it would take the next 4 or 5 hours. But I will limit it down to one just to save on time. And it has to be, what we talked about earlier in the conversation. You are only as good as your team. So therefore, it doesn't matter how great of a boss you are. It doesn't matter how good of a company you run. At the end of the day, if you don't have a solid team under you, you're going to fail. Because at the end of the day, the people that work for you are the ones that represent your company. Because at scale, you're not the guy that's on every single job site. You're not the guy taking care of every single customer. So no matter how good you are and how good of a relationship you have with these customers, eventually it's going to fall because of the people that you hire if they're not solid individuals.
Every time we chat, I get a new kind of nugget of wisdom from you. So that'll be maybe the one for today. And then I'm sure you're going to have more for next time.
Probably.
Yeah, Josh, thanks so much for making the time. This has been awesome. I'm so glad to hear about all the ways in which we're helping you out. I'm so glad to hear about the ways in which business is growing and how your drivers are happy and you're looking after your customers. Wishing you all the best in this amazing kind of business growth that you're on.
Yeah, man, we'll talk soon enough, man. I appreciate you having me on here.